platform, but it is being recorded, so that way the replay will be available on your membership site. So let's go ahead and let me share my screen. Oh, not that way. Let's see. Slideshow. There we go. Now I'm going to share my screen. There we go. All right, can everybody see my screen? Let me know in the chat box if you're able to see. Chat, let's get that. Awesome. Yes, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about how to create an amazing website that converts visitors into clients. So, designing websites, first of all, is one of my favorite things, and I am so excited to share with you some of these tips and tricks that you can use like right away to increase conversions on your website. So in this training, we're going to talk about why optimizing for conversion is one of the most important things that you can do, and then also why it really matters when it comes to web design that converts. We're also going to talk about some free and low-cost resources to bring your website to the next level, and more. So a little bit about me before we dive in. I'm a super nerd. I started learning HTML back in the 90s as a hobby. I have over 20 years of experience in marketing and sales. 12 of those years were in a Fortune 500 company. I started my own online business in 2013, full-time by 2015, and I've worked with some of the top names in the online marketing world, as well as hundreds of other small and medium-sized businesses, and I'm responsible for over $1 million in sales from sales page designs, and I am really happy to say that I increase conversions on my clients' websites by as much as 85%, although 30 to 50% is the norm. So, I'm going to tell you what designers don't tell you. Now, as a designer, okay, myself, these are the things that designers don't want you to know. Number one is that good design will never, ever, ever replace good copy. You have to start with copy first. I don't design, people don't write copy around design. Good designers design around the copy. So without clear, compelling copy that connects with your audience, design does not matter. You want to invest your time or your money into good copy before you hire a designer. And all high converting websites will have the same basic framework because it works, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Of course, we love it when you hire us, but if you pay attention to the top names in your niche, you'll see that they all kind of have the same layout, and it's for a reason. And lastly, there are free tools that you can use right away to elevate your website, even if you don't know anything about design. So, first of all, let's talk about getting ahead of the crowd. Businesses who take the time to optimize their website for conversion are twice as likely to see an increase in sales. Okay, most people don't take the time to do this. The thing is that you have less than 10 seconds, actually it's 8 seconds, to grab people's attention with a compelling headline, image, and offer above the fold. Now, you're already ahead of the crowd when you optimize for conversion because, like I said, most people don't take the time, the money, or the effort. So you want to focus on your unique selling position, your USP. So that's your secret sauce. So you got to think about, this is part of your copy, but what makes you different? And why should your website visitors work with you versus someone else? And it's not just about writing compelling headlines. It's about making sure that your website visitors understand who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. One of the biggest mistakes that I see is people leading with how they are such an expert or what school they went to or all their credentials, when that isn't as important to your website visitors as, can you help them? Can you really? Who are you? What do you do? So this is going to help you stand out by leading with your unique selling position. Now your website, it's more than just a pretty face. Good design makes a huge difference. So of course you're going to start with your copy. Then you're going to make sure that you understand your unique selling position, but then you want to make it pretty. Good design will make you money. That's a fact. So according to research from the Stanford University, 46% of people say that a website's design is the top criteria for deciding if a business is credible or not. So not the testimonials, not the logos, not the blog post, it's good design, okay? So good design is vital when it comes to increasing your authority and credibility online. Another study found that 38% of people will leave a website if it's outdated or unattractive. And that's before they even read the first word. So you do want to invest time or money to make it pretty. So when it comes to making it pretty, one of the first things that we think about is colors. So you want to choose, excuse me, you want to choose the right color palette. That's the first step in good website design. There are plenty of tools that will help you choose colors that sell. You will be getting a PDF resource guide that has tools that I personally use to help come up with color palettes that are pleasing, that are harmonious. I like to get inspiration from furniture design, interior design more accurately, makeup, apparel, that sort of thing. These people have spent millions of dollars and research on color theory and all that. I don't need to. I find a room that I like on Z Gallery and I start picking colors. That's the ones that I want. So unless your brand is intentionally like out there, you do want to stick with colors that are universally appealing. Now some brands, they kind of go off in this like punk rock mood or whatever, and if that's your brand, great. Then use burnt orange and neon green. But in general, you want to use colors that are pleasing, colors that are harmonious, that work together, and that make your website visitors feel comfortable. So this is, I stole this from the Huffington Post. It's a great guide to kind of show you the way that we perceive brands depending on their color. So you want to choose colors that align with your offer. Again, get inspired from your favorite brands. I like to use, again, Z Gallery and Sherwin-Williams. And a color palette generator that I use is called coolers.co. Again, there's a resource guide with all these links. You don't have to take notes. It'll be there for you. But keep in mind what the different colors mean, what they convey, the emotions that they invoke. If your business is all about, tapping into your intuition and that sort of thing, then you definitely want to lean on some purple. But if your business is really about like eating green, maybe, or eating healthy, of course, then you want to go with green because it's eating green. So your colors do make a big impact on the way that people perceive your website. And the next thing is your fonts. So if I'm going too fast, tell me to slow down because I don't want to overwhelm you, and I try to keep this short and concise. Anyway, let's talk about fonts. So your font choices say a lot. Make sure that the fonts that you choose, that they're easy to read. I do recommend that you use Google Fonts to ensure that your website is going to display the same on every device. And if you're in love with a font that's hard to use or hard to read, just use it as an accent. A lot of times you'll see these kind of script fonts like this used in logos. Next, let's talk about your photos. So, a picture says 1,000 words, and there are millions of free photos online. I love to use pixels. There's an advanced search where you can actually match your colors. You want to use mock-ups and graphics to help your website visitors picture themselves working with you. So, for example, here's a mock-up right here of Leslie's program, the Six-Figure Biz Academy. It helps people envision themselves purchasing that program, right? That's how it works. On the sales page for this Six-Figure Business Academy, there's probably, 8 or 10 mock-ups. So use those. Get good pictures of yourself. Now, if you don't have the time or the money or whatever resources to hire a professional photographer, almost any modern cell phone takes amazing photos. So if you get a cheap tripod and a camera clicker or a friend to hit that clicker button, then you can take great photos for your website without having to hire a photographer right off the bat. And again, the resource guide that goes along with this slideshow has all the links to my favorite stock photos and mock-up sites, free as well as paid for both. Next, let's talk about editing your content. So the difference between a buffet and gourmet. Now, if you look at these two pictures, picture says 1,000 words, right? Which of these meals do you think is worth more, costs more, that the experience is going to be better? Do you prefer to be at a buffet or a gourmet meal? It's the same way on your website. If you have everything laid out on your homepage, it's overwhelming, it's confusing, there's too much to choose from. The more choices someone has, the longer it takes them to make a decision. This is called Hick's Law. Look it up. And, of course, there's been studies that go all through that. But basically, you're going to lose clients when you have too many options, too many places to click, too many things to read, too much stuff. The less you have, the better. You can double or triple your price for the same exact product or service when you limit the way that people can work with you. So less is more. And now let's talk about the rule of thirds. So, our eyes and attention are naturally drawn to where these lines intersect, okay? You'll see this in photography, you'll see this in movies, you'll see this in pretty much anything that's visual. People use this rule of thirds. If you're intentional and strategic about what you put on these intersecting lines, it's going to help you increase your conversions because people's eyes will naturally go to these points. So your call to action, your freebie, your headshot, headlines, whatever, you want to keep it in these little intersections or along these lines. So for example, Neil Patel is well known in the online entrepreneur world. This is his current homepage as of this morning. I like how, I don't know how he does this, some kind of programming I'm sure. When I go to his website, it says that you're determined to make Baton Rouge successful. That's where I live. So, I went backwards. Let's go forwards. So, if I overlay this rule of thirds grid over his website, you'll see that his call to action falls within this intersection. His headline goes across this line. Okay? So that's what you want to do on your own site. Next, this is Todd Herman. He is the creator of the 90-Day Year, which is a peak performance program. If I add this little grid on his, and I couldn't make the grid like big, all the way big to whatever fit him in, but you can see that he's following this. His headshot is along that line. His these authority logos are along the line. Like he's following this rule of thirds. And then if we look at Leslie, this is from her homepage. She's got the rule of thirds right here. Here's a picture of her, a paragraph, and a button. You're grouping your content in groups of 3. So 3 elements, like your headline, paragraph, button, like this. 3 testimonials together, 3 blog posts, 3 payment options. I don't know what it is about us humans, but we like to see things in groups of 3. So here's another screenshot from Leslie's website. 3 ways to work with her. Let's talk, join us, grab the guide. You want to do the same thing on your website. Next, let's talk about white space, giving your content some elbow room. One of the biggest mistakes I see on people's websites is they try to cram, again, too much stuff. Not only does this contradict Hick's Law, or too many choices means that people are just going to click away, but it also looks messy. Okay? So white space keeps everything legible and scannable. Most people do not read websites, they scan websites. So you want your white space to really allow those headlines to stand out, allow those images to be viewed, to be consumed. It's going to also increase your perceived value. When you cram everything together, it looks cluttered, it looks messy, it looks cheap. Whenever there's lots of white space and room, it looks more expensive. So also, leaving elbow room makes it super clear on what your website visitors should click on. All right, so on this example, this is a company called Flat. They make your music scores online. I don't write music, but this is a great example of white space and also the rule of thirds. So you can see I have very few options right here. I can sign up with Google, sign up with Apple. Of course, the menu's at the top, but your eye is not drawn to that. Your eye is drawn to this. And that's because of the white space. So remember, less is more. You don't want to be a buffet. You want to be gourmet. And lastly, finishing up, step-by-step instructions. You want to give your people step-by-step on what it's going to look like to work with you. What happens when they click book that call. So this is an example of how this might look on your website. Step 1, book an appointment. And you put some copy underneath that. Like when you book your call, you're going to choose a day and time that fits into your busy schedule. Step 2, no pressure consultation. During our consultation, we're going to talk about your goals, what's been working, etc., etc. And then step 3 is the customized plan within a few hours or immediately, however it works on your business. Then they're going to get a customized plan that fits their goals, etc., etc. Your conversions are going to skyrocket on the book a call part if you let them know what happens when they book a call. Now, you don't go into granular detail like you're going to click book an appointment. That's going to take you to my calendar. You're going to enter in your information. Then it's going to add that to your calendar, etc., etc. It's a big picture view, like the overview, like what happens. And keep in mind, people are scared. They're nervous. They're a little uptight. Anxiety kind of kicks in. By having the step-by-step, this is what happens next on your website. It alleviates some of that. It lets people feel comfortable. Like, okay, she's already got it figured out for me. I don't have to think. I just need to show up. Okay? So, let's recap real quick. Let me go forward. Again, good design will never, ever, 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 ever replace good copy, period. Okay? Optimizing for conversions will automatically put you ahead of the crowd because most people don't do it. You want to make your USP, your unique selling position, clear immediately. You're going to do that with your headline, your call to action, and your images, okay? Pretty websites are going to convert better than ugly ones. Less is more, okay? You want to be the gourmet, not the buffet. Use the rule of thirds, both in your layout and your content grouping. Give your content some elbow room and guide your people with a step-by-step. Here's how it works. Taking the time or the money to invest in good design will always pay off. But again, good copy comes first. So I'm going to go through the resource guide real quick, but it will be available in your members area for download. It will have literally everything that I've shared today. And of course, if you have any questions, I want you to tag me in the group and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So let me find my Zoom window again. There it is. I want to go over real quick. I'm going to share my screen again. And let's see. I just want... the share screen is weird. Let's see. Nope. Let's try this again. Share screen. There. Okay. So I just looked up dietitians in Baton Rouge. Okay. And literally I have no idea who these people are. This one is terrible. Now what they have done right is there's a lot of white space. But what they've done wrong is there's no unique selling position. It's a picture of an apple. You couldn't be more generic if you tried. And like, where do I click? Like, I mean, it says that Stephanie's seeing clients via telehealth, but okay, can I book that? And this is super tiny. Like, that's really bad design. Next, here's another one. This just looks very DIY. It looks very amateur. The colors are nice, but she's not leading with how she can help people. She's leading with, like, welcome. No, I want, like, how can you help me? This is not good design. This one's terrible. This one's, like, really bad. This is one of those where people will click away before they even read it. Like, is this woman still even open? I did look in to see if Hillary Shaw is her name. Is she still in business? And she is. I guess she just doesn't use her website. Okay. This is more what you want to aim for. Okay. And actually, I would, if I were her designer, I would recommend to get away from this right here. I'm not sure why that's there. But it's very clear that, she's a nice looking lady. She looks friendly. And click here to work together. Great. The unconventional dietitian, like, says it all. Here's another one. It's a little bit better. It has, I personally like these sliders, a little outdated, but super clear call to action, like contact us, request a consultation. Okay, and they have, this is the group of 3, like headline, copy, and buttons. That's grouping that into 3, etc. Again, groups of like 3, there should actually be 9 if you're going to do 2 rows. Anyway, getting better. This girl, like, we're getting better. This is a little bit better here. She's got a really pretty stock photo, but it's kind of busy. I like the way that she's got her USP right up here. Click to learn more right there. The menu is nice and tiny way up top. Good picture of herself. And a nice looking layout. I like the 3 elements down here. Looks good. But the winner, and all the ones that I looked at today, is Kathy Garvey. She doesn't have a clever business name. It's Kathy Garvey Nutrition. But it's super easy. She's a registered dietitian. Book an appointment. Offering virtual and in-person visits. Boom. Super clear. I know what to do. There's a good picture of her. It says using the rule of 3. Picture of her. Paragraph button. And then she's got her little icon set up. She's got 3 rows. Again, here's how you book an appointment. Here's how you submit a message right there. And she has all of her blog and all that you can link to. But she isn't junking up her entire homepage with, here's all of my blogs, or here's a whole bunch of stuff, and here's a picture of, me at the park. No, it's how can I help you? Book an appointment, book an appointment, book an appointment. And lastly, I know I'm kind of going fast. What program do you use or recommend? I'm looking at the questions real quick. I currently use Squarespace. I personally recommend whatever works for you. My favorite to design on is WordPress. That's not saying that it's better or worse than Wix or Squarespace or Webflow or any of the other ones. But WordPress is, in my opinion, not only is it the industry standard, it's easier to find other people to work on your website. So if you get stuck, it's easy to find a WordPress designer. Whereas if you're designing on Wix or Squarespace, it's harder to find a good quality designer. Now I want to go over this resource guide, which again will be uploaded into the members area. So we're going to share this. Okay. This is the resource guide that goes along with this training. So first of all, I give you some of the extensions that I use for Chrome. One of them is full page screen capture. When I see a website I like, I copy that picture. I have a file that I have a Google Drive for that I keep all of the websites that I like in that file. That way I'm able to go to it for inspiration. If I buy anything, I'm going to screenshot it first. Because if I'm spending money with a program or online course, that I know that it's a winner. So I recommend that you do the same thing. So again, I mentioned that I have a blog post. I think I mentioned it. There's a blog post that I love that's all about color theory and how color influences moods. It's a really great blog post. I have no idea who this person is. It's just a blog post that I came across and I love it. So I recommend you reading it. This is the extension that I use to pick colors. Like if I see a website that I like for inspiration, I'm actually able to use that color picker to choose that same exact color. And then I go to coolers.co to generate a color palette. These are my favorite brands to go to for color palette inspiration. Feel free to put in your own. And also, all of these sites are great for font pairing inspiration. Speaking of fonts, also in the resource guide, there is a link to Google Fonts, a really good blog post about font pairings with Google Fonts. One of my favorite places to get fonts is Creative Market. Every Monday, they have 6 free goodies that you can download. It's literally part of my Monday morning routine. I go to Creative Market. There's almost always a font. Almost always. There's also stock photos, social media templates, all kinds of good stuff. If you're on WordPress, you can use a plugin called Use Any Font. You can use it free for your first font and $10 for unlimited fonts. Next, stock photos. My favorite place is Adobe Stock. Hands down, I love Adobe Stock. Also, here are some free options. Unsplash, FreePic, Pixabay, and Pexels. So Pexels is my most favorite because you can search for stock photos using an exact hex code. So that way it sticks to your brand colors. And they actually have a free Chrome extension, WordPress plugin. They even have a mobile app. Like, I really love Pexels for free stock photos. Then here are some of the more boutique stock photo sites that are They're geared towards online entrepreneurs. Most of these are a little feminine. So if you don't serve just women, they may not work for you, but these are just 3 that I love. Next, mock-ups. There are several different places here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different places that you can go to create mock-ups online. Now, when I create mock-ups for my customers, for my clients, I use Photoshop. You may not use Photoshop, have Photoshop, or like it, or whatever. There are places that you can do for free online and create your own mock-ups for your programs. And then there's a little bit about me at the bottom. So, that is everything that I have to share about website design. Does anybody have any questions or anything that I can help you with? Did I go too fast? I'm here for you. Let's see, am I a graphic designer for logos? Yes. I also do logos, brand design, pretty much anything that make your website look pretty and I make it work. So I do design and tech. Anybody else? I thought Leslie might have a question or some input. Oh, here she comes. Look at how pretty in yellow.
Hi, great presentation. Thanks, Rita.
No problem.
Yeah, so yesterday, and I think you were on the call yesterday for at least most of the time, right? There
Yes.
were several questions, including the question from Elisa in terms of, some of the folks in the academy looking for like a brand package.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
helping them to come up with perhaps a logo,
Mm-hmm.
color combinations and font combinations that can be uploaded into, Canva as a brand new package.
Yeah, actually, I want to show you something.
I know you do that.
I do. Personally, of
all
course.
Those beautiful sales pages that you all see from my business, that is all Rita's beautiful work. She's amazing. So
I'm going to share with you some resources, though. Maybe it's not in your budget or you just want to kind of play around before you hire somebody. Creative Market and Etsy both have, they usually call it like blog brand template. And a lot of these actually even have logos. So you literally just say, I like these, I don't know, this melon. Let's choose that one. And it will give you colors, fonts. This is a layered Photoshop file. So let's just say that you might even do a hybrid where you're like, okay, I like the way all of this looks, but I'm going to hire somebody who's good at Photoshop to put it all together. Etsy has the same thing. Another place is Fiverr. I haven't personally had a lot of good results with Fiverr, but some people do. But I just love Creative Market and Etsy for this. In Etsy, you can actually hire, let's say logo design. Now keep in mind, a lot of these are templates. So this person just takes a template and puts your name in it. That's okay. You don't have to have a super, super custom logo in order for it to be effective. So you just find one of these that you like. This is $14.80. Like seriously, who can't afford that? In my opinion, I do see a lot of people who DIY their logos on Canva. I'd rather you spend that $15 and give it to somebody on Etsy to do something that's going to be a little more professional and it's not taking up 3 hours of your time that you could be spending meeting with people, outreach, going live on your Facebook or whatever, and playing in Canva or Photoshop. Like, that's not the best use of your time.
Okay, so I did not realize that Etsy offered that service. I love Etsy. I've been getting a lot of really cool things from Etsy.
Yes.
My daughter really turned me on to that website, but I didn't know that they did brand packages. Mm-hmm. So, did I hear you say that it's in Photoshop?
Some of the templates you can get from Creative Market are a Photoshop file, whereas if you pay somebody on Etsy, like a logo designer, they have templates. They'll pop your name, your business name in there and pump it out. And again, this isn't a custom logo. It's a semi-custom logo, but it's good enough.
Yeah, I agree. Now, so my logo is just utilizing my business name, which is my name, in a stylized font. Mm-hmm. So
same. Mine is the same way.
So how, like, anyone that was interested in doing that, what would you recommend?
Honestly, pick a good font and like it's text logos. If you look at the high end brands, okay, I'm talking about Chanel, Dior. I'm thinking like fashion and makeup, but whatever. It's literally their name. It's not like when you get to lower tier brands like Nike or whatever, then they have the swoosh. You know, Chanel does have like the two C's, but it's just two C's. It does, in my opinion, elevate your design whenever you just have your name or just in very minimal elements, in my opinion. Some people are different. It just depends on what you like. But there's nothing wrong with your name. My favorite way to do a name logo is the first name and the last name to be the same font, but one's in a thin version and one's in a fat version. So like Rita Esther would be thin Rita, fat Esther, same font.
Okay.
Actually, that might be the way it is on my side. Elisa has a question.
Elisa, yeah, Elisa, why don't you take your, I know you had a ton of questions yesterday about this process, so let's get you taken care of.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, 2 years ago, when I was starting out, my husband actually did my website for me in Squarespace. He did the whole thing. We are not like tech or web designers by any means. Like, he just kind of figured it out and learned how to do it, and it was great. I mean, I was like blown away by what he was even able to like figure out. But I'm now ready to take it to the next level, and where I'm struggling, and I keep asking kind of like similar questions, is I feel like all these like freebies and ebooks and stuff that we will create essentially, and handouts and tips and tricks and stuff to send to clients as part of our program. I really like, Leslie, how you have like the banner colors at the top and the bottom of all of your pages. Like everything is sort of the same. So as part of like a logo, I'm also looking for someone to create those like templates for me in a way that I can use, like those banners, like the top, like on the top and the bottom, the little squiggle, like the things that I can then upload also into Canva and just plug and play, whether I'm going to create an ebook or create a sample menu, meal plan, like whatever it may be, that all of my things that I essentially create, it's there. Now I'm like taking hours and hours to like build things. None are the same. You know, it's like I create one thing in a style in Canva, then another month I create something and it looks different, and kind of looking for that consistency in addition to a new website. So as part of the brand package, does it include those, like, could a designer like
definitely
create that stuff?
Yeah, and you know, depending on the working relationship that you have with someone, I would recommend to find someone like myself who's either a solo entrepreneur or has a very small agency that will be able to really serve you on a personal level. Now, personally, if a client says, hey, I really want to DIY this, you know, long term, can you make me some Canva templates? Yes, not a problem, you know.
My business is at the place now where like I have the money to ongoing every single thing, pay someone yet. Hopefully, God willing, we get to that, you know, to that point where like I think I can outsource it. But for now, I'm looking at some DIY. Like I want to be able to plug and play content, and I need to have a new website and have a designer create the whole shebang from the beginning. But I'd like to be able to make like, or have my husband make some like small modifications along the way, like not every little thing have to go. And eventually, when I grow, then I can have some, you know, someone more regularly do that stuff. But what I guess my question is like, what is an estimated? And I know every website is different depending on how many pages, how many tabs, how much content. But for a logo and I'm calling it brand package. I don't even know if that's the right terminology, but like with some templates and brand package, what is the cost for that?
I wouldn't spend. Right. I wouldn't spend, you know, at your level, any less than $1,500. Now, you can find people who say they'll do it for 3 or 4 or 6 or 8 or whatever, but anything less than that, then you're working with an amateur. And now, you can find people who are new in their business who can do it for around $1,500. I would say that, like, for me personally, in my business, I usually charge $2,500 for a basic 5-page website, and that comes with a branding package. Okay, just for a logo, personally, I charge, I think it's $750 on my website right now. I wouldn't spend any less than $500. Now, of course, with some of these big brands, they're spending $20,000. You're not going to spend that, but you want to spend between $500 and $1,000 on your logo. If that isn't included in your website, or on the website between 1,500 and 3,000 is probably going to be the sweet spot.
Okay.
Would you agree with that,
Leslie? I'm redoing a website because I want it to be upgraded. So I'm not looking for something cheapo because otherwise.
And sometimes you got to do what you got to do in the meantime. But whenever it makes sense for you financially in your business, that's the first thing that I would invest in as a copywriter. The second is a designer. As a designer, I'm saying invest in the copywriter first, or take the time to make your copyright and then make it look pretty. I do want to share also real quick, speaking of PDF templates, this is Creative Market. I just searched for Canva PDF template. They have ebooks, workbooks, templates that you can buy. This workbook bundle is workbook coaching bundle, $33. I'm not saying that this is the right one, but again, some of these people like myself, they just repackage their templates and you can buy them and they're great. Of course they're not all wonderful, but for the most part, they're pretty great. And then someone asked,
and then you upload your own colors and logo.
Yep, within Canva.
The brand.
Yep.
Like the brand package that I'm talking about. I guess I personally, I'm a mom. I work. I have 2 small children. Do not have time to even spend hours playing around Canva. It's not.
No, all of these that I've used anyway, they're all completely customizable. You're able to change the colors, and then once you get it, then it's done, and then you can just use it for. I do the same thing for Leslie's templates for the 6-Figure Biz Academy. I don't start from scratch with every PDF I make for her. Now I do create them in design and not in Canva, but the process is the same. There's a template, I plug in the words, I put in some stock photos, make it look pretty, and then I export it. So it's the same process. Karen says that she's bought templates like this and they're awesome. Girl, I've been doing graphic design my entire adult life, and I love it when my clients buy them because I do get inspiration from them. Someone asked, what's the difference between a stock photo and a mock-up and when to use them? I want to use one of Leslie's sales pages as an example. So this would be her logo for this particular program. Now, for your main logo, you want to keep it, in my opinion, kind of evergreen, something that's not going to go out of style, something that's going to look good for 10, 15 years. For your programs, you can have a little bit more fun with them and make them a little more playful, as you can see here with Lucrative Course Blueprint. So a stock photo, this would be an example of a mock-up. And all it is literally pretty much this, but inside of a laptop. Okay, so that's a mock-up. And this is a good example of using an accent font just to have a little fun, add some interest. Again, we have a rule of 3 with the testimonials. And then this is actually a stock photo and a mock-up. It's kind of both. If we look, let's see. I know there's a stock photo on here. That's why I chose this site. There we go. So here's a stock photo right here in the background. All it does is add a little visual interest. It's not selling anything. It's just giving a little background. It's like curtains on a window. It's kind of plain without it. But that's where you would use your stock photos. And in this little circle, those thumbs up, that's a stock photo. Let's see if I have any other ones. Let's see, in this little list building secrets, that's a stock photo. This is a stock photo. So you really want to use high quality stock photos. You don't want to just do a Google image search. First of all, it's illegal. But second of all, you're not going to find high quality pictures. So pixels is what I like to use. Let's just say I was looking for a desk and a laptop. All right. You can click on this little color picker right here, and you can actually enter in the hex code that you like. So let's just say this is the color picker actually that I use for just looking for colors. Let's just say I really like this green. So let's copy that. And then in the color, I'm just going to paste and hit the thing and then hit return, right? Come on. Search. No. I swear this works. Let's see, is it going to look for my color? I'm not able to work this website right, apparently. But at any rate, that's how it usually works. Maybe, there we go. Okay. So now it's going to find stock photos that have a desk and a laptop and that color green. So this is how, once you've chosen your colors, you're able to find stock photos that go along with that. Like this little computer right there is great. Like that's if I'm looking for computers, as you can see, or anything else. I can type in, let's see, what's a good, I just think of like desktops and laptops because I'm always sitting in front of one. But maybe you were thinking about dinner out with friends, and you wanted to use that green color. So it's going to look for green. So there we go. That's a good picture of hanging out with your friends. So that's how I like to use Pexels. It is my favorite free stock photo site. All right, let me look and see if there's any other questions. Does anybody have anything else?
Lisa, do you feel like your question is answered?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I
Awesome.
was going to also ask like copywriting. Like, do you have recommendations for a copywriter?
I do.
That you could
Awesome.
recommend, especially for us. Literally, I just say busy mamas. Like,
Yeah,
every minute is precious time. That would be awesome if you could make those.
I do. And yeah, I know I have a recommendation. Rita, you may as well. The person that I have found actually has a background in nutrition as well.
Oh, cool.
Which I think is super helpful. So I can share her info in the Facebook group.
That would be amazing. Thank you. And Rita, one last question too. I know you said we should have the copy before we do the design.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's going to sign up, at least for you, how you operate, do you meet with them first? Like, would you meet? Well, I'm going to say them. I mean, like me. Let's just say you would meet first, just to sort of be able to guide us in the right direction of the copy. Then we write the copy, and then you do the design. Like, if we know we're going to, if someone's going to use you and they know they're going to use you to do their website, just to kind of talk through strategy, get a good picture of what we think we're going to build. Then we go write the copy and then come back to you.
Right. Actually, what I do is very similar to Leslie's training on copywriting, which is, it does follow a formula. Like, where are you at? Like, what's your problem? How can I help? I don't write copy. I do have a few copywriter helpers that I use, like thesaurus and that sort of thing. But I am definitely not a copywriter. I do refer that out. But in general, like when someone hires me, they've already done that. They're already ready for that. Or they just want me to design around what they already have, and they can update the copy later. So if you're already, this is how I feel about it. If you're already converting on your website, it's already selling, that means the copy is good enough to sell. Then it's gonna pay off to invest in design. But if you're starting from scratch with nothing, hire a copywriter first, then a designer.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And I mean, for sure, it does go hand in hand. Like Leslie said, the copywriter that she recommends has a background in nutrition. I do recommend when you're hiring to hire people who either have a background in or they're insanely interested in what you do. Okay, so for me personally, most of my clients are either in the alternative health or wellness space, because if y'all saw my supplement collection, you'd laugh. Like I'm always taking supplements. I love anything else. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do my yoga, all this alternative health and wellness. That's why I attract those people. But I understand their clients because I'm one of them. I am who they sell to, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Anybody else? And Eileen said that she's got a great copywriter also. So, definitely, ask each other in the group. That's kind of what the Facebook group is for. Not just to ask questions from Leslie or the experts, but from each other, get recommendations. Anything else that you'd like to add, Leslie? Anything I'm forgetting? I will have, again, the slideshow, the slide deck that I used, and the PDF resource, and this recording uploaded into the members area within, 24 hours. For whatever reason, I couldn't make Zoom record, so I'm screen recording my actual screen with a different software.
Oh, Zoom was very bizarre today.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on there.
Oh, yes.
But,
Okay, my contact information is, my website is ritaester.com. The link will also be in the PDF. If you just kind of want to take a look at my site, by the way, my site's so outdated. It's like one of those things where the cobbler doesn't have any shoes.
Yeah.
But it's there. You can see some of my work and prices, and book a call if you're interested. This whole training wasn't about me selling my service. I love designing Leslie's stuff, and I could talk about websites literally all day. So I'm just like, anybody gives me the chance, like, hey, Reedy, you want to talk about websites? Yes, I do. All day long.
Love that. You know, one thing I was wondering, I'm not actually on my laptop right now, so I don't think I could demonstrate, but is it possible for you to do a screen share in your Canva account and just show everyone how flipping easy it is? If
Definitely.
you've got a template,
Sure.
how like swap out, you know, colors and fonts.
I'll actually need to log in probably to a client's account just because I don't use it personally but it's fine. I'm going to share my screen and we'll look at some Canva templates. One that I know for sure. Yeah, I'm good. One of my clients, who I actually also design her sales pages as well. I might be still logged in as her. Nope, I'm logged in as me. I do all of her sales pages. I haven't done her actual website. Let me get into here. Come on now. But anyway, she has me do templates for her. Let's see, not Corey. So we're going, let me scroll down. You can see how many different clients actually use Canva. So don't feel like your designer is going to be like, oh my God, Canva. No, they do. So it's okay. So let me see if I can find the folder. Is there folders? It's been a little while. So this is a social media template. Here we go. This is where it is. Oh, no, it ain't. Sorry. All your designs. We'll go there. I just did workbook design, a workbook template for her. Obviously, she's done some stuff since then. I haven't been in here since then. I guess I'm sorry. I thought I could easily show you, but let me log out of hers. And Abby, you might be able to chime in on where this is. Oh, this is it. Never mind. So here's the worksheet template. So this is for a summit that she has coming up. So this is for her, whatever the people. So here's where she's going to change the title. And then here's a different title layout. So you can actually have two different templates. So if you want to switch it up a little bit. This is just a stock photo that you literally grab from, we go to photos, and we're just going to switch this out for that one. So it's a frame. You just drag it in. And this is a template that I created using Canva's templates. So I used one of their templates and then just modified it with this client's colors and fonts. Again, here's some stock photos. These are literally just, say fashion, pretty, and whatever it is that you're looking for. And switch that out. Bam. That's too dark, but whatever. Here's like a checklist template. And all of these different elements, you can change the color by just clicking on the element. Click on the little color thing, and I can change that to, this is her brand colors, to whatever I want.
That's what's really cool. Is when you click on that element you want to change.
Yep.
Like, it takes you to that little screen that has your brand
colors. And it'll even have colors that are used in the photos on this page. So Canva, it has, artificial intelligence that's looking at this picture and seeing like these are the colors that are already there. So if you're starting from scratch, and you just put in a stock photo that you like, then it'll pick up the colors that are already in the photo. But yeah, all this stuff, you just click on it. There's a little thing. So if I'm clicked on something else, and you see like this is straight up a template because it has the lorem ipsum, dummy text. But if I click on that, click on the color, and then you can pick whatever color you want. You can put in the hex code. You can drag a slider. Let me undo that so I don't mess up her template. But this is the template that we are using in, the next 90 days, for her next launch. So this is active. This is legit for real how we set it up. And then she's able to customize this for everything. Let me log out of hers and see. I'll log into someone else's that I created social media templates for to give you another idea of how you can use this. Not Corey. Sorry. Well,
Do you have access to mine?
I don't, but I've created
Okay.
templates for several
Yeah.
people. Vanessa is another one that I did. What you call it? PDF templates for. So in Corey's, we did some. Let's see, she has folders. She's super organized. Stress-free, no, social proof. There it is. Kindergarten event. Okay. So this is some of her social media templates. So she's able to literally, like this has 10, I think. I created these for her and she's just able to take them and run with it. So all I did was create the little paint swash, put in the little elements. This is her logo. That's a text-based logo. And literally she's able to switch these out. Like once I was done, like once I created all this, I was done with that client. I don't work with her anymore because she doesn't need me to. She's able to take it and run with it from there. So like this is 5 different ones. Again, this is social media stuff. And all of this is she just switches these out as she goes. I wish I was able to log into Jody's because I did a ton for her. But same concept. Same exact concept. When once you do it or you hire someone else to do it, then it's done and you have it forever and it's good to go for a year or two before it's outdated. Let's see. Yes, you can upload your brand colors to Canva, or what I usually do is create my first, like in a template, my first slide or whatever you call it, artboard, has all the colors that I'm using for that template. So that way I can just scroll up, click the color, that's the color I want, scroll back down, put it in. So any other questions? Anything that you need?
So Rita, did you say there was a PDF that you're sharing?
Yes, there's a PDF that will have all of the links that I used during the presentation, as well as some additional resources for fonts, stock photos, all that kind of stuff. I did not. What is not in that PDF is logo design from Canva or from Etsy, but now you know. It's just not there. It's not in the PDF. I didn't know that was going to come up, but everything that I use. Is there a difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com? Yes. So whenever great question. When you are starting your website, you want to first buy your domain name from some place like GoDaddy or Namecheap or whatever. Then you have to buy your hosting, which is where your website lives. You can use SiteGround, Bluehost. There's tons of those also. GoDaddy as a host. Then you're actually going to you're going to install WordPress from there. So you're never going to go to WordPress.com or WordPress.org to create your website. That's like creating a website on Blogger. Like it's not yours. Whereas when you buy the domain and you get your hosting and you install WordPress from there, then it's yours. Always yours.
Any recommendations from your perspective? This is a question that came up yesterday in terms of, using your name as the URL.
My URL is ritaester.com. Yours is Leslie. So I recommend it. This is why. First of all, when you have a catchy, funny name, one of my previous, previous contacts has a business called Nothing Bunt Cakes. It's super cute. Like, it wouldn't make any sense for her to go by her actual name. But in general, people are going to remember your name. And it also gives you the flexibility to pivot, to grow, because your name isn't going to change unless you get married, which actually I recently did, but my website's still ritaester.com and not Rita Hunt. So use your name, and that way it just gives you more flexibility. It does give you more authority. Again, Chanel is not called thediamondpurse.com, okay? It's Chanel. Dior is Dior. So use your name. Brand it. Anything else? Yay.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
This is great.
No problem.
And thanks again, everyone, for your patience as we work through some Zoom meetings, right?
Yes, always. Oh, you are quite welcome, Lisa. Yes.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Yes. All right. And
And
again, tag
special
me in the
thanks
group.
to-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say a special thanks to Rita for a great presentation. Tag her in the group if you have any questions. And a big thanks to Abby as well for helping us get into the meeting.
Yes. And awesome, Karen. I'm glad that you got a lot out of this. And again, I am recording this on a different software, so the process to upload it and get it in the members area may be a little bit different. But I'll go ahead and upload the slide deck and the PDF right now. I just didn't want to put that ahead of time because I didn't want you to like read the PDF and be like, oh, okay, I got it. So that's why it's done second and not first. So I'll go ahead and do that right now, and I'll see the rest of you guys in the group.
All right. Awesome.
Bye.
Sounds good. Have a great rest of your week, everybody, and see you next week.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.